Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be covering the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover, which is Bumblebee the AWE Striker. A.W.E. Striker. Aw, isn't it cute? Now, here I have Bumblebee in his robot mode, his robot AWE Striker mode, and we're going to make him into a striking striker. Strikiness, yes. If you like what you see here and you want to help me raise awareness for the blind, then please hit the like button. And if you have any comments about Transformers versus G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe versus Transformers, you enjoyed the comics too, talk about them in the comments below. I don't mind. I'd like to, talk G.I. Joe versus Transformers with somebody. Nobody I know read them. But, this is pretty awesome that we get to experience this. And he may be slightly mistransformed in robot mode, but I'm not too sure. I think so, though. Because I don't think that back area is supposed to be that tall. I think it's supposed to be more like that. Yeah, it's supposed to be more like that. Well, head. Bumblebee, your stupid head. Get your stupid head into position. Oh my god. Bumblebee. Bumblebee, work with me. Work with me here, man. Bumblebee, you're like the worst. Okay, so let's just go ahead and begin. Since I've got this guy slightly mistransformed, and for some reason his head isn't wanting to be copacetic with the back of his body. That's just weird. I don't know what's going on here. That's odd. So, darn it, head, stay. Okay, so before I really get into this guy, I guess I'm going to talk about some things I'm going to mention in this transformation that I'm just, not understanding. Okay, so number one, we're going to talk about this. He's got this cool wheel. It's a big old burly wheel on the side of his leg. I get that it couldn't go on the back of his leg because he's got this, he's got to have his movement there. But you could have dropped it down further, maybe put it more towards his foot area instead of up here near the knee because, his arms are so long, they get in the way. This thing gets in the way. Or you could have just had it where it could be removed, and then we could have actually had some sort of a really cool, wheel shield or something, like what we got with the Junkions. But this big wheel on the side is very, very annoying. It gets in the way of the posability, and I wish the designers had done something more with that. Had found a way to, break it down more, or just have it fold. Like it could have folded into the front, and that would have been neat. It's just where it is, it's in the way. That's something. And this guy's got a really terrible core transformation bit. This thing doesn't like to stick together until you have the entire thing transformed, and then the roll bar really acts as a stability point, and everything relies on it to stay together, which is a shame. There's not enough connectivity points in this in where the upper body is. There's nothing really there to help this out. But so with that being said, let's get into this transformation, and we'll just work at it from there. So first off, what you want to do for this transformation is you want to pull the front of his body away from the back of his body. His core chest area is going to get moved away from his other areas. Now, after you've done that, go ahead and fold the shoulders in, okay? And they're going to go all the way in, and then you're going to actually fold the wheels down and around with this, so that you may have to slightly spin. Come on, get in there. There it goes. All right. So now you're going to have this wheel that just hangs out on the side, but a lot closer and a little further down than before. And now we're going to copy that movement with the other side. We're going to pull that shoulder away from there. We're going to pull the shoulder out as far as it will go. It's on a couple of bar hinges, and then we're just going to fold it backwards all the way until we get a satisfying click. And you got to work at it a bit sometimes to get that satisfying click. Come on, give me that satisfying click. Give me that. There it is. That satisfying click. Excellent. Okay, now we got both of those guys engaged. They're just hanging out there, but they're a lot closer to the core of the vehicle mode than they were otherwise. Now you can fold this bit, the backpack, over the top of his head, and it just sits there. It just rests there, guys. That's the big negative on the connectivity point that I have. There's nothing up here. Like, they kind of hit some spots, but the places they connect to don't allow any sort of strong connection. So even though he's got these two things on either side of his head, or on either side of his shoulder area that actually have slots to fit into, those slots don't have anything solid. Like you can slip them in, but they're not really going to stay for long, unless you like roll them in place, like I just did, where you take one, you come down at a 45-degree angle, then you roll it into the top section. So the part with the front of the armor, the breastbone area, you want to bring it down in a 45 and then roll it back until it's at a 90. And what you're trying to do is hook some pieces of plastic into some hooks on either side. Then it's a sturdier connection, but it's not a very incredibly sturdy connection. It's really sad. So now what we're going to do is flip this around. We're going to move this the shoulder so that it fits into a peg. Okay, so on the underside of this thing that we've connected, you can feel that there's that shoulder, and then there's this area that's right next to it that's big and rectangular, and inside it's got a slit there that's actually going to fit for this peg, this male peg on the inside of the shoulder area. I'm just going to go ahead and bring that around. Come on now. Hey. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There we are. There we are. All right, that's the extent of the connections. Now, we're going to go ahead and move these hands so that they're sticking straight up, and don't worry, the backs of the seats are actually going to hide them very well. And that piece, this piece connected very well, but this one didn't. No, you didn't connect at all. You little thing. Get connected. Come on now. We ain't got time. We're burning through minutes here on our YouTube videos. Bumblebee, get connected. Is that it? Are you good? Huh? Are you gonna wobble? You gonna make it so things are messed up? Huh? Or are you gonna stay in your place? That's right. There you go. Okay. Now we've got that bit on the back transformed. That's honestly the hardest bit, is making sure all those pieces are connected properly. The leg area, wow. Okay, that's actually really intuitive and fun. So we're going to get into that directly. Now, this is a neat little thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to first take these, on the backs of his legs, he's got these crazy spike things that act as extra heels. So they're actually on a bar hinge, so I'm going to pull it from the back, and then we're going to break that hinge a bit. And we're going to bring that hinge out, and we're going to rotate it. So this is cool. So you bring the hinge out all the way until this thing's sticking far, far below where the feet normally would rest, and then you're going to rotate it away from the back at 90 degrees, and it's just going to rest on the side of the vehicle. It's a vehicle mode. It's quite excellent. And now we can bring this foot around. And what this is fun is that when you bring this foot around, okay, so what you're doing is you're revealing the inside of the leg, which is hollow, and that is a textured floor mat in there. That is textured floor for the inside of the vehicle. I just think that's cool. Okay, that's neat. That was a cool attention to detail, and we're going to talk about that. But it's really hard to get your fingers in there, except in this moment, to feel all the textures that they actually put in there. And I mean, they didn't even have to texture it as well as they did, but they did, and that's cool. Okay, credit where credit is due. That is nice. So you're going to go ahead and fold that leg all the way down. And what we're doing is we're folding the leg backwards all the way. So with this other leg, we're going to go ahead and take that spiky thing. That's the side running board for the vehicle. And we're going to fold it out all the way until it's flat. And then we're going to go ahead and rotate it. There we go. And now we can pick up this seat and reveal the interior of the car floor. Okay, and now this part is going to fold back all the way backwards on its knees. There we go, and we've got the front of the vehicle all spiffy-like. And make sure we're cool. Now we're going to connect everything together. Make sure that the brush guard on the front of the vehicle is connected. Make sure that there's all the connecting points are connected. We got a little gun on the passenger side and a little steering wheel on the driver's side. That's kind of neat. Now we got to fold these seats down and ensure that they hide the fists for the robot mode. Just make sure you rotate those arms a little bit if you need to slip them in behind these seats, all they're doing is just going to be covering them. It's not a very strong cover, but it's pretty good for what it is. Okay, now we've got all this stuff going on the sides. Make sure that these running boards are flat and ensure they're on both sides properly. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Is there any sort of connection between them? No, there isn't. No, there is not. All right. Now we got to make sure these seats are lowered down because they can get a little too high up. And there we go. The seats are in their proper place. That's in its proper place. We are almost there, but there's a spot we missed, and I forgot to mention it to you guys. On the underside of this vehicle here, there is this the big waist area that goes all the way up. Now it happened automatically in this regard when I was transforming it, but there's these two male rectangular pegs sticking out of it. And there's these two little rectangular holes on the underside of the vehicle mode at the front of it. And that's just going to fit into both of those sections quite nicely. And you can go ahead and take some time and make sure it's sturdy. That's one of the few connection points in this vehicle mode that are 100% sturdy. As all get out, and you don't ever have to worry about it coming undone without you realizing. Everything else on this guy, though, sadly enough, it will come apart at a moment's notice. It just is like that. That's how it be. Okay, make sure that these seats are folded down properly. Okay, all that's correct. Now let's go ahead and put on the roll bar, because the roll bar, I already put the gun on the roll bar. There's a 5mm port to put the gun on. Now I'm going to make sure that we put these little wheel covering sections. They are the sloped end is facing towards the front of the vehicle, and it's going to go over the back wheels. So use your fingertips to find there's a little blanket, you'll miss it, cut in the side of the wheel area, and these things are going to fit in that spot. Let's see, where is that spot? Ah, there it is. Okay, so they don't like fitting in there too well. They can be a bit of they can be a little dastardly about that, which is a shame. You just got to pick that area up a bit more. Fold that section down. Okay, cool. All right, there it goes. Yeah, I didn't have the back end rotated all the way properly, but I got it now. Okay, those seats are in place. Okay, now that I rotated it properly, you feel that there's some grooves that are right above the wheel area. And it doesn't want to stay in this rotation because there's nothing really holding it there. That's what these roll bars are going to do. You're just going to want to put one on each. Okay, just going to put one on each side. Come on now. Come on now. There it goes. No. Come on now. Yeah, this is the third shoot because I usually get to this section and something screws up because it's just such a terrible connection point. And I do not understand how they thought this was a good idea. But they, for some reason, thought it was a good idea. So there you go. We just got to move them around until we find where that freaking peg is. And it's really hard to find because they put it in here with a bunch of other little venti things. And so one of these venti things is actually a peg hole, but it's hidden amongst any other venti thing. Like, they did a good job of hiding the peg hole. I think they did too good of a job hiding this. So I'm just, come on now. What the hell's wrong with you? It's funny. This is my third shoot of this video, guys, and it always lags about this time, where there's just something wrong. There's just one tiny thing off kilter in everything about this vehicle mode screws up. It is that's where I'm saying it's not well designed. And what was wrong this time? One of the arms from the underside, because it's not really a good solid connection point for it, just came undone and went ahead and screwed everything up by falling in the wrong place. Now, this thing's wanting to turn in the wrong place, but we can get it right. Okay, come on now. Okay, come on. Where is that freaking peg hole? Is that it? There it is. Okay, cool. So finally got it in its peg hole. It's just being difficult. Now it's being even more difficult because for some reason the end of the roll bar got stuck in there, and I just do not like this roll bar. This thing is a pain. It's so rigid, and it just, it's annoying. Let's see, we gotta slide this one into its peg hole on the side just above the wheel. Try and find it with your finger. Good luck. It's too small to work very well at all. And come on now. Alright. Maybe if I connect the, that's the problem. This thing is supposed to go, there's a middle section. Son of a, alright, come on. You know, if it wasn't for this roll bar in this terrible back section, this would be a decent transformation. Now, you got to make sure that the center of the roll bar, this big flat bit that comes down, is between the seats and this bit on the back that pops up. Which I don't even understand why it's there, but it's there. It's annoying. And now we're going to make sure that these arms are folded in the proper way, because it's not. And, of course, if you give too much leeway on this thing, it just springs all over the place. Come on now. No, that's not it. There it is. Okay. Found it. It's hidden amongst all these freaking grooves. Get in the way so much. They just do. Right? Is this thing supposed to be spin? No, I'm doing it in the right direction. It's just being big bastard. Alright, we're gonna give it one more shot. All we have to do is make sure that this doesn't get caught up on anything. Alright, we're just gonna spin this backwards for now. Sometimes, there it goes. Okay, so that one's in, and then this one's in. Sometimes you gotta untransform it to transform it. And then that piece is in on that side, and they are in there sturdy. No, that one popped out again. Why did you pop out a little bit? When you went in so deeply. You piece of crap. Get in there, you piece of crap. Okay. All right. And that one's in. I don't know why this one goes lower, but it does. It's just something that happens with this guy. Now we can fold all this down. We can make sure that this thing gets between the seats and the other part. All right, where's the other seat? Where did the other seat go? Why are you all the way up there, seat? Why are you all the way up there? All right, move you back. Okay, now the seats are in their proper places. Now that the seats are in their proper places, we can find the little bitty microscopic peg hole that's in this little area, and then there's a peg on the backs of the seats, and we're just going to put that into place. Both of these seats got to be pegged into this peg. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Peg, seat, peg, seat, peg, seat. Yes, peg, seat, peg, seat. All right, cool. Now we come up here to the front, just around the wheel area. Feel around where the steering wheel is, and then there's a small little peg hole for the front ends of these guys of the roll bar to fit into place. Now what this roll bar does, if it doesn't pop out from the back section over there, is it really acts as a stabilizer to help stabilize this entire vehicle and kind of hold it together. Other than that, that's all it does, other than get in the way constantly throughout the entire transformation and make it very difficult to get anything really properly done with this guy. This transformation's got its problems. That's for damn sure. But yeah, it's mostly got. There it goes. Okay, so that arm is up in there, and that arm is up in there, and then that piece popped out of place, and that piece popped out of place. But we've got it. We've got it complete. I don't even know where's their Stalker. All right, now can we fit Stalker into this area, or did I do something wrong? So we just finish this test up with Stalker's got to slip in and drive. There we go. Stalker has slipped in, and now can Stalker. Where's the steering wheel? And we use the steering wheel as kind of a seat belt. Pushes onto his lap and holds it into place. There we go. That's how you transform the G.I. Joe crossover AWE Striker. For my personal opinions, this transformation gets a 5 out of 10. It's got some great ideas, and yes, I'm biased. I believe the GI Joe Transformers crossovers need to happen. I think that's a great thing, but was it accomplished in this vehicle? No, no, it was not. Did they learn from any of the lessons that Siege taught them? The War for Cybertron taught them when it comes to making proper clicking connection points? No, no, they did not. Did they throw it to the G.I. Joe team to handle? Yes, they did. Did the G.I. Joe team know how to handle it? No, no, they did not. Um, was it a great attempt? Yes, it was a great attempt. Was it a success? It's a 5 out of 10 on its transformation. You tell me if that's a success or not. And I'm biased on this thing because I've wanted a GI Joe vehicle that transforms into a robot for a very long time. I'm just very upset by how this transformation went. The front of the vehicle is quite excellent. I love every moment of the front of this vehicle's transformation. It is solid. It is complete. When you put it together, it is together, man. It is complete. But when you transform this back section where his head goes and stuff like that, it's not even solid right now. And you saw me transform it. It's never solid. It's never complete. You always, if you're going to move this guy and bring him around from point A to point B, grab him by the back end and then make sure that both of your fingers are resting on his arms that are underneath there. Then you can hold him steady. But if you don't grab him from that, like if you grab him from the front, that's what happens. Everything here just unfolds, and then you got to bother retransforming all of it, and it's just a damn shame. I hear the Megatron's worse, and that surprises me. That makes me terrified. I'll buy the Megatron when it goes on sale for $20 eventually. I'll test it out there, and then you'll see it on the channel whenever it's within my budget. But from the horror stories I've heard, I don't have the money to afford a POS like that. I barely had the money to afford a POS like this. That hurts for me to call it a POS. It really does. But at the end of the day, it kind of is. It's a decent robot mode, but it's got a lot of QC problems. It's a decent vehicle mode, but it's got a lot of holding together problems. The one thing that you don't want from a vehicle mode. You want these vehicle modes to be sturdy and stable, but nothing is. Everything requires these tiny little pegs that connect to every other bit, and it just doesn't hold together at the end of the day. Thanks for watching. I know it's been a long one. I've tried. This is time number 3 of me recording this, and I keep cutting it down by like 30 seconds. And it always comes down to getting the stupid roll bar on, and that's whenever the most time happens. And I really wish I could cut it down for you guys, but it is what it is. I feel it's appropriate you understand the rage and the frustration that comes with owning this vehicle. And is it a cool product? Is it neat? Yeah, but at the end of the day, is it worth transforming? Not really. Thank you. And please tune in tomorrow. We're going to go over this AWE Striker in its vehicle mode and talk about its pros and cons. Until next time, bye-bye for now.